Yeah, let's start for today. For a recapitulation, yesterday we completed the first module, which was on ethical hacking concepts and basics. And today we are going to start with the peripherals of cybersecurity, and that's going to be footprinting and reconnaissance. Firstly, just give me a heads up if I am audible properly.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Uh, ju- so just in case my screen stops sharing in between or I am not audible at some point of time, please feel free to let it down on chat or unmute yourself and let me know about it. Because the internet is a little shabby today. So yeah, let's begin. So the next thing that we are going to do is footprinting and reconnaissance. So what are we going to do in this? We are going to go into the footprinting concepts, the footprinting methodologies, footprinting tools, and footprinting countermeasures, after which we are going to come into the reconnaissance field. So let's begin. So ultimately, what is footprinting? Footprinting is the first step of, or the most crucial step in order to get information about someone, get some kind of authority that some kind of data that I've collected about an organization which I'm trying to penetrate on, or some kind of organization that I'm trying to hack at the end of the day, if you see it from another point of view, is legitimate and can be used to a malicious intent. Right? So footprinting is the first step of any attack on information systems in which an attacker collects information about a target network. Right? It can be IP addresses, it can be user list, it can be any kind of data like what is the website built with, what are the code bases that these organizations deal with. It can be ranging from anything to anything, right? So what are the types of footprinting? As we all know that there are two major types of approach to any kind of scanning, footprinting, hacking, whatever it might be. And that is passive and active. The main difference between passive and active is nothing but in passive, any kind of attack vector, we don't directly interact with the target, right? Whereas in active uh, methods, we directly interact with the target. And the same goes for footprinting as well. Gathering information about the target without direct interaction. It can be information on the internet. It can be information available on job portals. It can be information available by, uh, contacting customer support, whatever it might be. Right? Then comes active footprinting, gathering information about the target with direct interaction. It can be calling the company up and asking questions. It can be asking questions to an existing employee, anything of that sort. Also, this will include any kind of tool that is being run on that particular machine, such as a scanning tool like Nmap or any kind of footprinting tools. Information obtained in footprinting. This is on an organization level. Organization information such as employee details, telephone numbers, location, background of the organization, web technologies, etc. Network information that includes domains, subdomains, network blocks, IP addresses of the reachable systems, whois records, DNS, etc. And finally comes system information. This will go, the network information and system information will go into the category of active footprinting to some extent. Whereas system information is anything that is active with like operating systems, location of the web servers, users, and passwords, right? All of the 3 points has an active and a passive approach to them. And that is what we are going to see as well. So what are the objectives of footprinting? Why are we collecting all this data? Knowledge of the security posture, right? So if we see that they are using an operating system such as, say, Windows 7, right? Windows 7 has stopped giving updates. Windows XP, for even worse, has stopped giving updates. It's one of the most vulnerable operating systems, especially the SP2 variant of it. But yeah, so that gives us an idea of what kind of systems they are having, whether they are having a firewall, whether they are having any kind of intrusion detection system, intrusion prevention system. All of this can be recorded in the process of footprinting. Sorry. Reduction of focus area. What does this mean? It's like, say you got an information, right? And you have to scan, say, code bases, for example. This is not the current situation, but we're just going to take a hypothetical scenario right here, that we have to scan code bases. And those code bases, you have scanners for every single programming language. You have Java, you have Python, you have Perl, Ruby, whatever it might be, right? Now, you find out information about this organization that they purely use Java, C, and Python, for example. So that reduces down your focus area. And that is that you are going to scan the entire organization for just Java-based attack vectors, Python-based attack vectors, and C-based attack vectors. You don't have to do Ruby scan, Perl scan, Go scan. So this reduces focus area. This saves us time. Identifying vulnerabilities, finding things like operating systems gives us an idea of what kind of vulnerabilities can be exploited, especially if it's Windows, if it's an older version of Windows, if it's an unpatched Linux system. These are all of the things that will help us identify vulnerabilities, not only on operating systems, but also firmware. If the website does not have a web application firewall, if the website does not have an intrusion detection system or any kind of fail-safe for denial of service attacks, these are all of the things that we can identify as well. And finally, drawing of the network map. What is the entire organization looking like? What is its internet footprint, to be exact? There's a domain. So you might have seen that, say, for example, a website, for example, xyz.com. xyz.com, the login portal for xyz.com is login.xyz.com, right? The registration link for the portal is registration.xyz.com. So these are some kind of subdomains that we have inside of a major domain, that is xyz.com. Now, if you identify the subdomains, that gives you an internet footprint of what the website is exactly running and all of the pages that you need to test or that you can test. So these are all of the things that we can consider in this case. Right. Footprinting methodologies. So footprinting through search engines, or the first step of OSINT, or open source intelligence, as we call it. Attackers use search engines to extract information about a target, such as employee technology platforms, employee details, login pages, and internet portals, which helps the attacker to perform social engineering and other type of advanced system attacks. So attackers can use advanced search operators available with these search engines. For Google, it will be Google Docs, and that is what we'll be focusing on here. Search engines are also used to find other sources of publicly accessible information, like top job portals, major job portals that provide critical information about the target organization. What kind of employees are working there? What is their job description? What is their daily target? Right? If you are a developer, what kind of programming language you are expected to use? What kind of database you are expected to use? Right? So no one actually gets an idea unless a database engineer joins an organization or the job post is up there, that what kind of database do these guys use. But also the technology people, like a Java developer, is expected to know a little bit of MySQL if they use MySQL, right? Now that would be written in the job description of the developer itself, and that is how you figure out what kind of databases we are dealing with here as well. So Google hacking, or Google dorking, as we call it as well, is the use of advanced Google search operators in URL, insight, related, link. These are all of the things that are available here as well. For example, if we need to find a login page, right? So I'm sorry, I cannot zoom in here, but I'll make sure to type it down on mousepad as well. Sorry. Yeah. So for example, you have a website xyz.com and you want to find its login portal. Anything, any URL that will contain a login attached to this, right? So what will we type in? We will type in a Google Doc like in URL colon login site xyz.com, right? So it's going to find any login page on the site xyz.com, right? So let's take an example of a website which has a login portal. I don't know if I love, yeah, it does. Cool. Fine. So in URL, login site pdf.com, right? So in URL login site ilovepdf.com, and the first link that pops up is login into your account, which is ilovepdf/login, right? So this URL contains login. This is the login page of that particular website. Now, if this was an organization, right? What do I need to do? I need to clone this page, right? Introduce some kind of software here that will either capture keystrokes or it will capture things like the data that is written here. And ultimately, what is going to happen is the data that you enter here will be coming to me as a phishing website. I can phish this entire website and send it to an employee or something like that, because they will least expect their own website to be cloned as well. Just give me a sec. I need to close this. Yeah. Then comes all in URL, location, finds information from a specific location and things like that as well. So if you are like, yeah, just give me 1 second. Right. So Google hacking database, right? So Google hacking database is nothing but entire plethora of understandings of common vulnerabilities, right? So let's type in Google hacking database. So exploitdb.com is the Google hacking database, which contains all of the exploits that are available on a particular system as well. So there's Google Docs here, right? There are exploits here. Okay. So like Windows 10 has a vulnerability now, which was reported on 7/7/2023. That was like a few days back, right? So this is a very new vulnerability. Hopefully they have patched it up. But since it's a new vulnerability, right, it still exists on the system. And if there are high chances that Windows users will not patch it until and unless they are forced to update, right? So this is the exploit script for that attack, right? VoIP and VPN footprinting. VoIP is nothing but the just 1 second, guys. So VoIP is nothing but the voice over IP that you have, in the sense that all of the compute, like all of the internet connected phones that we have in offices, right? So these are all of the things that can be footprinted as well. such as in title login page, in text phone adapter configuration utility. Phone adapter configuration utility is something like, you know, just the same way that each and every, oh, I closed Firefox, fine. So just the same way that each and every router that you have, that you call. So just a chestnut question for everyone. The Wi-Fi router, as we call it, right? Even on internet, it will be named as Wi-Fi router itself. These things, right? So in an interview, if you call these Wi-Fi routers, that will increase your chances of getting rejected as a cybersecurity guy. Okay. These are access points. Okay. Routers, why is it called routers? Is because it can route traffic. That's it. But it's not exactly a router because it does not have a route table. Is that it does not have a proper BGP protocol that has been set up. So this is not exactly a router. It is a wireless access point, and that is what you need to answer when you are asked for that, information. Whereas a router looks something like this. These are router rack, right? These are proper routers, right? These routers cost a lot and are hard to configure, these Cisco routers. So just don't fail to answer this question as what do you use for your Wi-Fi access as a router. Just answer access point, right? And that is the universally accepted answer, right? So VoIP and VPN footprinting is okay. Then we come to other techniques for footprinting through search engines, and that is gathering information using Google advanced search and advanced image search. So if you get an image, right? Say this image was like, say a place, right? And you say there was a very famous game. Actually, I have, like, it's completely blank on my mind about what game that was. And in that game, there was a girl, a picture of a girl, and you have to find out the location from where the girl is from, right? So what did we do? We went to images. Right? We went to images and we searched using an image, right? So that is the method that we will use. That is a reverse image search, right? And there are high chances that if it's a publicly available image, it is available on Google. Hence, we can find out locations, we can find out EXIF data, we can find out a lot of data from that particular image. Gathering information using EXIF data that I said is nothing but whenever you click an image, maybe like be it on your phone, be it on your camera, whatever it might be, you will see when you import it to your computer or you check the details of that image, you will see the focus, the shutter speed, the ISO, where it was taken, like, right, whether the flash was on or not. This is all of the information that you have hidden behind a particular image, right? That information is known as EXIF data, right? And you can extract EXIF data from any kind of, what do you call it? Any kind of image by simply downloading an EXIF data extension on Google Chrome, on Firefox, whatever it might be. So it's called EXIF Viewer, right? So you can just install it on your system, and any picture that you hover on any website, you can simply go ahead and check its EXIF data, right? Then gathering information using reverse image search.
What does the EXIF data shows about that image?
I'll give you an example. Wait, let's do something. Let's switch to Chrome. Do I have Chrome on my system? Yes. Let's give it a moment to open up. EXIF viewer extension. Or if you don't want to install an extension, you can simply go to EXIF viewer online. Right. So these are online EXIF viewers. Let's see if I have an image that I can put up on. Yeah, there's one image that I have. I don't think this is gonna have any EXIF data because this does not have an EXIF data. Fine. Let's see. Let's check for photography. This is an image that we have. Save image. Even this does not have proper EXIF. Fine. Let's see. Okay, so this is a a little bit of a Google Doc that I did. In URL gallery site drive.com. So basically what I'm doing is I'm going into someone else's drive that is public, right? So what do they have? Private, By the Fire, Natural Pine Resort, 1999, River Junction. These are all of the image folders that they have, right? So let's just see any of these. Right, so let's download this. Open online EXIF viewer, select an image once again. Do we have an IMG here? We don't. And maybe it's not downloading properly. But yeah, if you upload a picture from your mobile phone here, my mobile phone is not connected, hence I would have given an image from my mobile phone which has an EXIF data. But just in case you want to check it out, upload a data on this particular website, any image, any kind of picture that you have taken, and you can find it out for yourself. So it'll give you information like where it was taken, if the location was on while the image was taken. It can give you data like whether the flash was on or not, or what are the coordinates, what was the shutter speed, what was the ISO. It can give you a lot of information. Oh wait, I sent it to someone's direct message. Yeah, the website is on chat. You can try it out yourself. You can try it out from your phone, from your PC, whatever suits your fancy. Okay. So I apologies for that, that I cannot, upload an image from my mobile phone. But yeah, you can check it out. It's very, very simple. Right. Gathering information from video search engines. Video search engines such as YouTube and Google videos allow attackers to search for a video content related to the target. Right. So say there was this one particular case study where this person wanted to hack into an organization, right? And what that organization did was instructed its employees to show their solution, right? So it was a cloud-based solution that they have, or a SaaS as we call it, software as a service, right? For example, Google Docs is a software as a service, right? You can use it on web itself. So that company had a software on as a service. And what this guy did was went to the YouTube channel where one of those employees was sharing their screen in order to show their product as a tutorial video, right? Now, what he sees in that entire video is that whenever he is sharing his screen, he is going to his desktop, right? Say he is going to his desktop, And then he's going back to any other website or then opening Chrome and things like that. So on his desktop, he sees some items that are related to him, right? Some pictures, so what are the things that he is interested in, right? So there was a folder named books, free books, ebooks, right? So what this attacker does is sends him a link to an unlimited access of, say, ebooks, right? And like, since it was his interest, he clicks on that particular link and that installs a malware, right? So these are the things that can help you out as well. It's a very keen eye that you require and a very logical thinking process that you require. And let's be honest, it's a very tedious task to do. But yeah, it ultimately the fruit is going to be amazing. Gathering information from meta search engines. Meta here does not mean meta as in Facebook meta. Meta search engine searches for metadata, right? Metadata is nothing but data about a data, in the sense that if this is a document, what is the macro format? What is the version of doc PDF, the doc that they have sent, whether it is 2007, 2009, or it is 2013 later, right? If it's an image, the EXIF data for an image is nothing but the metadata of the image, right? So these are meta search engines such as Google, Bing, ask.com. These are all of the meta search engines as well. Gathering information from FTP search engines. FTP is file transfer search engines. So attackers use FTP search engines such as Napalm FTP, one of the most famous ones, and Global FTP search engine to retrieve critical files and directories about the target, right? FTP is file transfer protocol. So every single server that is there, so you have to transfer some files to the server at the end of the day, whether it be images, whether it be, the website content, whatever it might be, right? And generally what we use is FTP, right? Now we don't use FTP, we use SFTP, secure FTP, but some of the websites still use FTP, and these FTPs can be, listed on a normal search engine as well. So if I type in URL FTP, nice. So yeah, this is a downside of Google dorking. It thinks that you are a bot. Right? In URL FTP, now Google Chrome is not a FTP search engine, but it shows us a list of websites that end with /FTP. And hence those FTP folders can contain data such as this, blogs, headline.html. So we know that they use HTML, and these are the types of pages that they generate. Similarly, some other websites such as this, articles, there are a lot of articles here, right? These are all of the things that we can have, right? These are all public data, by the way. Hence, these websites are not, breaking any compliances, breaking any kind of vulnerability here. These are all public data. Hence, you don't expect Harvard University to leave its data public, right? So it has data from 1993, 1995. It would be difficult for us to go back to that time on the website and find out that particular what do you call it, PDF or something like that. So simply what we do is go to 1993 from here and get it all from here itself, right? So this is a 1993 paper of neural networks. If you are interested in AI, cybersecurity, AI, ML and things like that. So yeah, you get an idea of it. This is, I think, no, this is not. Fine. So yeah, now we have finding a company's top level domains and subdomains, right? So we saw that any kind of website like xyz.com, the login page is like login.xyz.com. So the login dot that has been prepended to the URL is nothing but a record, as we call it. So that a record is a subdomain for the main domain or the top level domain of this xyz.com, right? So now there's a common mistake that I have heard people do is consider www to be a subdomain as well. www is not a subdomain. It is just the identifier of the website being on the wide internet. Okay. So don't consider that as a prepending subdomain. Search. So how are we doing this? Search for the target company's external URL in a search engine such as Google and Bing. So subdomains provide an insight to different departments and business units in an organization. You may find a company's subdomains by trial and error method or by using service such as Netcraft. Or you can use the sublister Python script, which enumerates subdomains across multiple sources at once. I don't have sublister on my system. Hence, we are going to use the internet approach itself. So say I go back to the same website. I open Netcraft. Sorry. Netcraft domain search. Yeah. Search dns.netcraft.com. We will accept the cookies. Okay. So site contains, right? So we have to enter the top level domain here. So let's just say 𝐼LovePDF.com, right? Okay. You don't have to enter all of this, right? Now we hit search. And these are all of the things that are available for 𝐼LovePDF.com. Obviously, there's the www. API360.𝐼LovePDF.com. If we can open this site can be reached. Hence, it's protected. Right? These are all of the extensions that we can have for a particular website. And this is all that they are serving as well. So we get a lot of information about this. It's still on A. It goes on. Also, you can use something like DigDNS. This is by Google itself. Searching for 𝐼LovePDF.com. So these are the A records that are there. Gives you the IP address. 4A records gives you the IP address. Any CAA, CNAMEs, DNS keys. MX is mail servers, right? So we know that it's using ASPMX2.googlemail.com. Hence, we know that this entire organization is using Google Suite for its mailing purposes, right? You have name servers, chipsns.cloudflare.com. So it's using Cloudflare as a web application firewall and a CDN system. PTR, they have no records, SOAs, SRVs, TXT records, right? TXT records also give you a lot of information. So there's a TXT record for Google site verification. By experience, we know that Google site verification TXT record is used when you are running Google ads, right? So this website is running Google ads. Stripe verification, it is for the verification of the Stripe platform. spf.mandrillapp.com. So we know that it is using some kind of verification for mandrillapp.com. If we mandrillapp. So mandrillapp is a paid MailChimp. MailChimp is nothing but for forms and things like that. Okay. So we get a lot of information from these records itself. And that is finding the company's top level domains and subdomains. Okay, finding the geographical location of the target. Attackers use tools such as Google Earth, Google Maps, and Wikimapia, right? So this is not very difficult. It's just you searching for the company name on your Google Maps and the office showing up, right? So if you type in, for example, Azure, right? If you type in Azure, sitting in, say, Bangalore, it is going to show you the closest Azure office, right? Because or Microsoft, right? It's going to show you the Microsoft office location. It's fairly simple and it's very self-explanatory itself. People search on social media, networking sites, and people search services, right? So now, if we don't understand or we don't know that, say, there are no job posts as well, there are no, what do you call it? There's no information about what kind of services these guys are using, right? So what do? We simply go on to LinkedIn and we search for everyone working at this particular company, right? And we open their profiles, we see what is their expertise. So say, if a Java developer is joining the organization, that means the organization should use Java, right? Or if the organization is being joined by anyone who is an expert in SAP, right? So the organization must be having some dealings with SAP as well. So these are all of the things that we can decipher out from the information that we gain on social media as well. Now, it's not only restricted to LinkedIn. I just said LinkedIn because it was a professional front that we can get this data from. It can also extend out to Facebook. It can also extend out to Instagram and things like that. Also, there are some things that can go out from these social media, right? In the sense that people like taking pictures of their work desks, right? Maybe they have kept their laptop, they have kept a notebook next to it and a good plant next to it, and then a bottle. So they take a picture of that, right? And then post it on social media because of, like, that's very normal, right? So what happens is, if you have taken a picture of your work desk and there is a sticky note that has some information on it, even that is getting uploaded to the internet and we can find it out from there itself. People like taking selfies in office, right? Maybe it's the office party, maybe it's a event, or maybe you're just taking a selfie for your own sweet time. Anything that is in your background, maybe you are taking a selfie in a meeting room, right? And the meeting room whiteboard contains some kind of information on it. So it is going to be leaked out as well if it is visible on the image. Hence, many of the offices will discourage you from taking selfies in a restricted area, right? Whether it be the work floor or the meeting room, they will stop you from taking pictures, right? So people search engines are there available as well, such as intellis.com. Let's just check it out. This is a people search engine. Look up for anyone. Let's just say we look up for Sundar Pichai. Sundar Pichai, intercity, city, for example, we'll just type in California. California, right? And search. We are agreeing to the terms and conditions. That's just for it. So these are some of the questions that they will ask. Okay. Has Sundar Pichai lived their whole life in CA? No. Right. So these are some questions that they will ask. As far as you know, is Sundar Pichai an only child? Yes. I'm not sure, but yeah, most probably yes. So it's gonna search out. So they have gained sensitive information. So we are not going to do all of that now. So let's just wait for that to complete and then we'll come back in a while. right? Harvester is a Python-based tool that is available on GitHub that we can use in order to get all of these domains as all of these people search as well.
These tools comes under reconnaissance phase, right?
Yeah, footprinting and reconnaissance phase. Yeah.
Okay. For any SOC engineer or any cybersecurity engineer, this is very important to collect data
Yeah.
and to use familiar with these tools.
Yeah. So generally, like in the cybersecurity world, people like only in the black hat approach will you be like required to run all of this. But generally, if you're working in a corporate environment as a cybersecurity engineer, you will be like running BAPT work on, say, the application of the organization itself or some other client, right? So the only reconnaissance that you will require in that case is a network reconnaissance or a domain reconnaissance, not something like a person search engine or something like that.
Yeah.
So it depends on your purpose. Yeah. Okay. No idea why it failed. Fine. So yeah, you get the idea. This is a like Sundar Pichai, very big guy. So we need more information on that. So you can enter your information and see if your Facebook account or your LinkedIn account pops up. Don't be worried if it does pop up because it's public information at the end of the day. There is nothing wrong with your LinkedIn profile being visible or your Facebook profile being visible. It's completely an open database at this point. Okay, harvesting email lists. So this is the harvester which gathers email addresses related to the target organization, acts as an important attack vector during the later phases of hacking, right? So when you have either gained a vulnerability or you want to send a mail containing phishing links, this is one of the tools that you will use in order to harvest email addresses for a particular organization, right? So let's just check it out. Right. Uh, do I have the harvester? Let's just download it from GitHub. Oh, it's available on Kali itself. Fine. So I'm sending everyone the link for this particular tool. It's available on Kali Linux itself. We'll just know how to run a tool. So how do we install the harvester? Sudo apt install harvester, right? So just give it a moment. So once you enter sudo apt install harvester, it's going to ask for your password. Just give me one moment. I'll be pausing the screen share. Okay. Resuming screen share. Fine. So we have to enter the harvester and it's going to give us a complete help of what we should be doing. So the usage is something like the harvester followed by -h for help, -d domain, -l limit, which means how many email addresses do we require, -e DNS, or finally the domain as well. So let's just check out what we are doing here. So say the harvester -d microsoft.com -l 200 -b Baidu, right? So let's just search it out. I'm using this example itself because I know it will work. Me searching for any other organization in this method might not give us a proper result. So the harvester -d Microsoft.com -l 200 -b Baidu. So wrong version number, SSL. Searching Baidu's, no IPs found, no. Okay. Let's just check out by removing Baidu. No IPs found, no emails found, no hosts found. Okay. Did we enter the command correctly? -d Microsoft.com -l 200. Yeah. Let's just check out any other domain. Say this itself. Okay. So it's not giving us any result, but putting in the proper. So there are email harvesters online as well. Right. These are some free tools that are available. So this is the email address extractor. We will find the email address harvester. Mail search system. Find email by company. Enter a domain name. Let's enter, say, the same thing itself. Find email addresses. Right, let's wait for that to complete. We'll just clone this website and enter a more legitimate website here. Maximum number of trials reached. Apparently, it has just one trial. That's very sad. So there are n number of tools available. So let's enter Microsoft itself. So see, we have so many email addresses, right? Right. So getting a free subscription will give you more, results from these tools. But yeah, you get the idea of how these things work. Now, if these things are available on web, I would suggest like go onto the web and search it there itself. There are many of the online footprinting tools available, which does the same work as that of the command line tools that we'll be using as well. Gathering information from financial services such as Google Finance, MSN Money, Yahoo. These are all of the things that a target company uses, such as the market value of the company's shares, company profile, and competitor details. Attackers can use this information to perform service flooding, brute force, or phishing attacks as well. Footprinting through job sites, something that we have been discussing since day one. A company's infrastructure detail can be gathered from job postings. See, basic qualifications. These are the things that a developer needs, or client or server engineer needs in this case. So we can get a lot of information about what are the profiles that they use for their server engineers, like job requirements, employee profiles, hardware information, software information. These are all of the things that we need to look for, and the data that we can gain from job posts. Deep and dark web footprinting, something that is uncommon with us as ethical hackers. But yeah, you can obviously go to the dark web and the deep web and search for someone there itself. It's highly risky, but I don't suggest. But yeah, that's a method that can be done. So deep web, it consists of web pages and contents that are hidden and unindexed and cannot be located using traditional web servers. It can be accessed by search engines like Tor browser and www virtual library. Deep web, dark web or the dark net. It is the subset of the deep web that enables anyone to navigate anonymously without being traced. Right? Navigating anonymously and being detected is something completely different. Right? Be rest assured that if you are visiting the dark web without any precautions, without any proxy chaining, without any network security, be rest assured that your IP address is out there, right? And it can be tracked as well. It can be accessed browsers such as Tor, or the most common one, Freenet, GNUnet, RetroShare, and so on. DuckDuckGo can also go onto the dark web. Attackers use deep and dark web searching tools such as Tor browser, Exonera Tor, and gather confidential information about the target, right? It can be confidential information about the target which is available for free on the dark web, or you can pay some amount in Bitcoins to get a lot of data about that company itself, right? Maybe that company has leaked its data at some point of time, and that data is out on the dark web. You can buy those data as well. That's a very big approach that you are spending your own money to hack someone. But yeah, that's an approach. Determining the operating system. Operating system can be detected by scans such as Nmap scan, but can be also detected with open source search engines like Shodan. So simply go on to your Google Chrome and search for Shodan. So the first thing that pops up is the Shodan search engine, right? So this search engine will give you a description of what the website that you are talking about is consisting on, or if there is any very common vulnerability, right? So say total results 7. Top countries that 𝐼Love PDF is serving from is the United States, Canada, and France. Top ports that the website is accessed from it is 443 and 80. 443 is HTTPS and 80 is HTTP. What are the organizations that are hosting this? Cloudflare, Color Crossing, OVH hosting, OVH SaaS, right? These are all of the things that are available. Now, if I go deep into this, we will see host names, the country it is from, the city it is from, the organization that is serving this, ISP, ASN, what are the ports that are running and what port is running which service. 80 is running TCP, HTTP. 443 is running TCP, which is HTTPS. And here is the SSL certificate, the public key of the SSL certificate. 2052 is also running a service, 2053, 2082. These are all communication services that are running as well, right? So this is how you can get information about a particular target. Now, if we, dig deep into this and look at the error messages, look at the things that are available, it uses Google Analytics, by the way. So yeah, these are all of the informations that we can have. And oftentimes, say, it is running Nginx, right? So Nginx usually runs on a Linux web server, right? So these are all of the things that we can decipher out of the information that we get on services like Shodan or Census. VoIPs and VPNs can be, tracked down as well. Right? Competitive intelligence or intelligence that we are gathering from competitors is things like company websites and employment ads, search engines, press releases, trade journals, patents and trademarks, social engineering the employees, that is phishing the employees, product catalogs, analyst and regulatory reports, customer and vendor interviews, agent distribution. These are all of the things that we can go to as well. So such as when did this company begin or how did it develop, right? We can use Edgar's database to find out any database that is available for this website from previous sites, DNB Hoover's, LexisNexis, Business Wire. What are the company's plans? Market Watch, because all of these market reports will contain the reports of the organizations working. Wall Street Transcript, Alexa. Alexa not only does all of these smart assistants, but it also rates websites. Right? That's my Alexa. Alexa, stop. Yeah, sorry for that. Euromon. What? Alexa, stop. Started playing some songs. That's great. Okay. What expert opinions say about the company? SEMrush, Attention Meter, these are all SEO platforms. Right. So we'll be continuing on in the next class from the next part of it, which is other techniques of footprinting. And then we'll be going into the scanning methods. Right. Are there any questions that I can answer before we conclude for the day?
Uh, Around how SOC profiles can be, they also use all these techniques, right?
SOC does not usually use all these techniques because SOC is more of a role that after everything is implemented, their job is to monitor, like it's a continuous monitor service, right?
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
VAPT does not usually fall under the SOC category. But
Okay.
if the SOC team is, also helping out with things like audit and stuff like that, it might fall. Chances are low, but never zero.
Okay. What are the profile names for above SOC? Like cybersecurity engineer or?
There are a lot actually. The cybersecurity network engineer, cybersecurity application security engineer, cloud
Okay.
security engineer.
Okay.
Right. Me personally, I'm a cloud security engineer specializing in Google Cloud and AWS. But
Okay.
yeah, apart from that, I have been part of things like malware analysis and as well as SOC. That was a joint profile. But yeah, so talking from experience, SOC does not usually have a VAPT approach to it.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, that would be it for today then. Have a great rest of the day, everyone. And I will see you guys tomorrow.